Hello everybody, welcome back to the Genshin Impact video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sam. I make Waifu meta content, and in today's video, I want to show you how good physical Rosaria is. I'll be showing you how great she shines in a physical damage team comp, whether she's support or main DPS. But before I get started, I just want to say that I'm so sorry I haven't been uploading or streaming lately. Last week, it was the end of the quarter, so grades were due. And you know how students always turn in everything at the last minute. So me being the good teacher that I am, I was trying to make sure that everyone was all caught up. Whoever said they were going to turn in stuff was going to turn in, and I was just making sure. So it was quite a busy week for me, to say the least. And also, this past weekend, I got my second dose of my COVID vaccine, and I got freaking wrecked all weekend. Just laying in bed all day. I felt terrible. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and waiting for this video to pop up. But yeah, I'm glad I'm all good. I'm also glad to say that I will be getting new internet this week, so that way I can stream more on YouTube. And of course, to help a poor teacher out, I would appreciate it if you guys give a big like on this video, so that way it helps the algorithm and just helps support me. Enough about me. Let's get into the video. So I just want to say that Rosaria at C0 is extremely viable. Please do not feel pressure to keep rolling for her, especially if you're wasting precious primo gems. Because sometimes getting a certain 4-star character is harder than getting a 5-star character. But if you're like, Sam, I don't care. I've been saving all my primos for her, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if I have to Pega swipe just to freaking get her. Because she's so freaking hot. And you know what? I don't freaking blame you. Which brings me to my next topic, which is her Constellations. We'll start off by saying that her C1 does help her, especially if she's main DPS. After you deal a crit hit, her attack speed increases by 10%. The rest of her Constellations are honestly just for support. You get her burst that increases its duration. Of course, the level up one. This one helps to get her burst more up. Another level up one. And then the last one, which is the best one, in my opinion, which really helps her be a support, top tier support for a physical DPS comp. That is her burst, lowers the physical resistance of enemies by 20% for 10 seconds, which is huge. For her talent priorities, I have them all at 888. But if you're a main DPS Rosaria, I would prioritize her normal attack, then her burst, and then her E. But if you're more of a support or sub DPS Rosaria, I would prioritize her burst, then her normal attack, and then her E. If we look at her passive talents, Nightwalk will make you always skip the game clock to nighttime, because it's really fun and cool to use this passive ability, even if it's just for fun. I know you can't use it in domains or Spiral Abyss, but it's definitely a neat boost to use in the game. And then her other ones are basically for herself or for her team. So this one says, when Rosaria strikes an opponent from behind using Ravaging Confessions, Rosaria's crit rate is increased by 12% for 5 seconds. This helps her for her DPS if you're using her as a main DPS Rosaria. And her other one, Shadow Samaritan, when casting Rites of Termination, it increases the crit rate of all nearby party members except herself by 15% of Rosaria's crit rate for 10 seconds. Remember, this is 15% of her total crit rate, not 15% just in general. So you got one that helps her for her DPS and the one that helps her party out as a support. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you cannot use a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer set to help boost your crit rate to give that extra percentage in her second passive talent. The extra crit rate boost that you get from Blizzard Strayer only occurs in a damage calculation, not during initial calculations. As far as weapons goes, I think the best for support Rosaria is going to have to be the Skyward Spine or the Favonius Lance, just because the energy recharge substat does really well to get her burst up more and give energy particles for her team. If you're going for a sub DPS, Skyward Spine helps a lot because of the energy recharge and that increased crit rate and normal attack speed that you get from its passive. For DPS Rosaria, a super copium weapon would have to be the White Tassel. If you literally have nothing else, for some reason you don't do any gacha, you have such terrible luck that you don't have any other lance, and you don't even want to make a craftable weapon, sure, go with the White Tassel if you want to suffer. But some really good craftable weapons are going to be the Dragon Spine Spear or the Crescent Pike. If you're having trouble deciding which one to craft, I suggest the Crescent Spike because of the higher base attack, and Rosaria's passive ascension stat is attack percent, which means since Crescent Pike has a higher base attack, that's actually going to give you more benefit than a lower base attack Dragon Spine Spear. And even though Dragon Spine Spear has a higher physical damage bonus, it doesn't really matter, because if your base attack is low, then that physical damage bonus can only do so much to pick up the slack. Also, Crescent Pike's passive talent just allows for more DPS compared to the Dragon Spine Spear. Other good options are of course the Black Cliff and the Deathmatch, but I would suggest the Black Cliff or the Deathmatch just because of the higher base attack to help with the overall damage output. Also, if you happen to have the Lithic Spear, it's also a good option, but the only thing that sucks is that Rosaria is unfortunately not from Leeway. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of these weapons leveled up. Even though I am a baby whale, I am still a min-maxer because if you do not know, I'm a public high school teacher and they don't pay us the freaking big bucks. But if you happen to have a 5-star weapon with you, with the exception of Vortex Vanquisher, any of the other 5-star weapons are really safe options for DPS Rosaria. You can't really go wrong with giving her a 5-star weapon because we all know the gap between 4-star and 5-star weapons. So yeah. For artifacts, remember, substats over set bonuses. And for physical Rosaria, I would suggest a 2-piece Bloodstain with a 2-piece Gladiator. That would be the perfect ideal route to go for, but since we don't live in a perfect world, especially in a freaking gacha world, as you can see, I'm running a 2-piece Bloodstain with a 2-piece Blitz Destroyer just because of my substats. And I don't have good Gladiator pieces. For my signs, I have attack percent, but you can always go for ER for support Rosaria. And my Goblet, of course, is physical damage. And in this build, my Circlet is crit damage. And here are my stats. For my suggested team comps, without mentioning any 5-stars, there is this 4-star team of Rosaria, Beidou, Fish, and Diona that I think is one of the best ones to make if you're going for a main DPS Rosaria. I might have already been showing some B-roll of it on the team, but with Beidou's ult, Oz, and Diona's kit, this enables Rosaria to constantly apply Super Conduct, thus enabling her physical damage. And of course, with the same team, you don't have to run Rosaria as a main DPS. You can even make Fischl as a main DPS if you get enough constellations of her. Or maybe you can switch out Fischl or Beidou for a Razor to enhance his physical capabilities, because you should already know that of course Razor is a better physical DPS carry, and you can swap out some of these characters with male characters if you really want. But remember, I do try to make my teams as much waifu meta as possible, and no, Diona is not a waifu unless you are literally 10 years old, because if you're a grown-ass man, and I know you are because of my YouTube statistics, then you go for freaking grown-ass women like this freaking booba right here. All right, stay away from those lollies. Holy crap. But if you do happen to have some 5-stars, a Keqing is a great substitution for Fischl, especially if you want to use physical Keqing. But at the end of the day, these team comps are just suggestions. You play however you want with the characters you love and enjoy. For me, I'm really loving this team right here. Holy frick, this is the most waifu over meta team I've ever freaking made in my whole entire freaking life. And yes, I'm sorry I don't have Mona on this team, but since this video is about Rosaria, it's about her, making her shine, and oh my gosh, Rosaria and Keqing, they freaking let you teleport everywhere, and they are freaking insane. This team of freaking Jiggle Physics is just one of the best looking teams out there, and one of the flashiest teams as well. So if you happen to have Keqing and Jean and these other characters, hey, try this team out. I promise you, it is definitely a fun one. You freaking just go ham and you teleport everywhere with Keqing and Rosaria, and it's just so much fun. Some final thoughts are that Rosaria is such a fun character, and it's really smoking even though she's a crowd character. She's so versatile, she can fit into any team comp. With that being said, even though I'm talking high about Rosaria, this for sure is not a must pull character unless you really want to enhance your physical team, like if you have Razor as a main DPS or physical Keqing. If you made it to the end of the video, all I ask is for a like and a subscribe to help out my algorithm. Please, I'm just a poor teacher. I need all the help I can get. Remember, it's free, and you can always unsub whenever you want. Anyways, that's it for the video. Remember, waifu over meta, and we'll see you in the next video.